3.
Oh my.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to Counter Currents. This is your host, Petey Steele.
And your co-host, Elena Torres. And our guest today has been on before, but wasn't on when I was on. And,
I'll say different stuff this time too.
Oh, you're going to say different stuff. You're not supposed to talk till I'm done with the intro. I think of these big intros, some guests talk during the intro. Some guests just need the spotlight that bad that they can't even let there be an intro.
Sorry.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rahmein Mostafavi. Yay!
Yeah, I was
now
just
you can talk.
In case they listened before, I didn't want them thinking, "Oh yeah, I've already heard this guy," because I've changed all my opinions 180 degrees now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, now
40 episodes. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
We've had a couple. We've had a select few on more than once.
Sweet.
Sure.
Sweet. Well, I'm honored. Thanks for having me on here. And I know we've all, been living the same struggle, but it looks like maybe we're coming out on the other side alive.
Yeah. And so far it's happened with a splash. You got a great new room that I did the other night. What was it? The Sterling Center or the?
It's called the Salisbury Center.
Salisbury. It was one of those old English.
Oh, the Manassas one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excited. I mean, that first one was, it was packed out. A lot of it was the owner's friends and business associates and stuff. So I told them it's not, this isn't a normal first show. They knew that, we just papered the room with a bunch of their buddies and now the real work begins. We got to build it up and try to let Manassas know that it's out there. But, Petey, you can attest, the room couldn't be more beautiful. It's a perfect.
Oh, really?
It's an ex-movie theater that they've restored. One chamber of strictly for comedy. But then it gets even better. They have like a back room where they have a pentagon, not an octagon, but a pentagon for mixed martial arts fighting. Yeah. I'm actually going to go to one of the fights in the next couple of weeks. The owner, Jeff, great guy, said he hooked me up with a ticket because I, did okay the other night. And
okay.
Yeah. The owners are really sweet guys. A couple of brothers, and they love comedy. So I walked in when they first called me and said, first of all, they said Manassas. I almost hung up, but then they said they took a theater and revamped it. It was an MMA fighting ring, and I was like, ugh, this sounds awful.
Yeah.
But when I walked in, I was like, oh, these guys are not messing around. This place is very nice. And
so that theater is just for comedy now?
I think it's live events, and comedy is one of the things. And they basically brought me in to curate the comedy program. But they were so great. Like the first time when I walked in, it was just, this empty room that they told me used to be a theater, tools and, lifts and things in there, but didn't look like much. And they literally were like, what do you need to make a great comedy show? And I was like, stage over there, lights here, soundboard in the back. You could do these kind of tables. They were like, okay. 2 weeks later, it was done. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest partnership I've ever. We've all set up partnerships at venues, and then they leave on 27 TVs, and guys are playing pool in the back, and then kids are there, and you're like, did you know that we were? And these guys just knocked it out, and couldn't be better. And they're very excited about it. So we're trying to ramp it up to where we can bring in some credited names and whatnot, if we can start to sell some tickets and add it to the repertoire of the shows that I'm trying to get back. I've got Lorton's coming back. It's outdoor right now, and it's a little different than it was before because the where we do it at the Workhouse Arts Center, they're again they've sort of contracted me as the comedy guy, where I used to be in control of all the ticketing and all that stuff, but they brought me back on a contract for 4 shows just to sort of see if it's still alive, and then we'll renegotiate from there and hopefully prove that comedy can still live there and keep going. Been doing it for 10 years, so I'd love to get back to a normal schedule.
Yeah, I think we're all excited for that. I really appreciated that you wrote sort of all of us this email sort of at the status of all these rooms, because sometimes it has felt like DC hasn't recovered comedy show wise as quickly as New York has. I guess New York is New York. So I feel like New York has a ton of shows. So when you wrote that, so you can see the issues of why there aren't as many shows as we're used to isn't just COVID, but the reopening process for a lot of these venues is so tough.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, my day job, I'm in the restaurant industry, so I sort of understand a bit of the like staffing issues are a big thing. Shipping issues have been a big thing. Trying to get product, trying to get new appliances, like everything's just not just from COVID, but the snowstorm down in Texas is still affecting factories and shipping dates. So, I would love to reopen a couple of the smaller rooms and get, like, I would love to have Ragtime back. I would love to have William Jeffries back. I've been trying to put a show in Vienna at Bear Branch, but they literally said to me, we want to, we just don't have the staff for it. And I see it everywhere. I see it at my yoga class, guys. I don't know if I've been doing a little.
Oh, you're a yoga guy?
Looking a little limber, shoulders looking a little broad,
wow.
right? Yeah, stretching it out. And they haven't opened, like the showers are still closed at the yoga studio. And I'm I sweat like crazy because it's a hot box and you can't shower. And I was like, why can't we don't even have to wear a mask in here anymore? Why can't I shower? And they're like, honestly, we don't have the staff to clean the dressing rooms. Like they can't hire people because everyone's on unemployment until October, coasting. And then all of a sudden you'll get all the staff back. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Our patron for the podcast, the Arlington Draft House, is only at 75% for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Like they could open to 100, but they can't. So if anybody's listening to this and you like comedy, please go work at Arlington Draft House.
Yeah.
You can
help us fill the capacity for sure.
Yeah.
But that venue has bounced back. We all did shows there when the pandemic was still pretty much happening, and they just sort of allowed a few people in there. It was like 12 people. 5 people. But,
remember that Christmas show I had you on? Remember that? That was like 4 people.
Whatever. But at the time we were just like, please God, let me tell some jokes. Let me get house, let me feel something. And even now, I mean, I'm back to my calendar's looking pretty good and I'm getting out a few times a week, but I'm still not feeling greased. You know what I mean? Really getting out there. I'm still thinking a lot. I'm trying to connect jokes. I forget like jokes that I love to do. And how after a set you go back and look at your list and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I left out that. Or I forgot that tag, or God, what was I thinking?
Most tags, but sometimes I'll forget a whole bit. And I'm like, oh shit, this is a central part of my routine.
Yeah.
Like there was a callback 2 bits later that required that bit. What the fuck am I doing?
I know.
Yeah. I feel like it's still like things are getting better. I'm on the same. I'm on like probably like once, twice a week now, which is like way better. But even then, I'm still way too nervous before every show because I'm still inconsistent.
Yeah,
like I'm still just like I don't know.
The other part I'm beating myself about is beating myself up about is not producing that many new jokes over the last year. So I get a little in my head about that, especially if I'm performing like in DC or at a show that I've been producing for a long time and I know the people seen me before, and I'm doing some damn Chick-fil-A joke from 8 years ago, and I'm just like, damn it, I wish I came out with like, here's my fresh 45, and like, I just don't have it. I don't have it.
I don't think a lot of people did, because I don't think a lot of people did. Like we've talked to a lot of people on this podcast about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody from like headliners to local comics, name it. And the thing is like you end up doing most of your writing either on stage or when you're doing stand up a lot, because your brain is like in that format. And when you're just like sitting at home, like that rhythm of a joke is not as fresh in your mind.
Yeah, you can't find out if like a premise is going to be funnier than the goddamn punchline until you take 100%. It on stage.
Yeah,
that's true. But I'm not a person. I don't know how you guys write. I've been doing comedy 10 and a half years. I've literally sat down one time and been like, now I'm going to write jokes. And I envy the people that do it regularly because they seem to produce at a much higher level. So I would like to make that a habit for me. And the only time I ever did it was like 3 months ago. I was like, all right, pal, we're not going out there with this same damn 30 minutes. Like I need something fresh. And, I came up with one joke in maybe an hour, but I could see where if I dedicated more time to it, I talked to some of, the guys that are really cranking out material and they have a new hour every year or two. They're definitely making time every day. And I just did a show with Sam Morrell at the Draft House. backstage. He was just talking about his routine. He was like, you know, every morning I do this, and then I write, and then I this, and I'm like, wow, you block out time to write every day. That's wild to me. Like, I wish I could do that. I wish I had. I mean, I've got 3 kids and 9 jobs and all that stuff, and some of these guys are just single touring the country writing jokes, so it is their whole job. So there's that difference. But in the beginning, and I guess it's because we piled up all this material from a lifetime and then decided to be comedians. In the beginning, I was like, here's a fresh 3 this week, another 3 minutes, another 3 minutes. You know, for the first year, I was just like, bang, 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 bang. And then, you know, it just slows down exponentially.
Yeah, I never was one to sit down and try to write. I mean, anytime I did, it was because I made a big concerted effort, because I had one of these exchanges we just had where I'm like, I need to block out the fucking time. And then I do it one time. It's like a New Year's resolution. And then I don't do it again until I get another conversation like this, you know? And to me, part of it kind of defies art. I mean, that's a sad way to look at it, and it's probably a sophisticated excuse, but sometimes I think like my best like aha light bulb moments are the ones that turn into like my killer jokes. And they've let me coast for as long as I've done this and be a club feature. But you know, if you want more, you're gonna have to nitty gritty it probably.
And you know, I've had, like, one of my favorite jokes that I do now was a note that I wrote in my original composition notebook when I first started doing, you know, the marbly composition notebook. I wrote a note in there. Perhaps you've seen me do this joke. It's my act of God joke about the insurance industry and the Bible, right? And 9 years ago, I wrote a note that I just wrote like act of God policy ? And it sat in that notebook until I think I only started really doing that joke 2.5 years ago, maybe 3, but it just rotted there forever. And then one day I was like, I gotta make a joke out of this. I either make it or I gotta scratch this damn thing out and get it out of here. And I remember I just pounded on it. And I saw a show with Gary Goldman. And I saw Gary's such a great storytelling comedian, but it's a lot of it is just fiction where he's weaving in and out of things, like the one about the abbreviations for state names. And I remember seeing that and going, I want a joke like that. And so I went back to my notebook and I was like, I think I can make this one a joke like that. And really off of the inspiration of him weaving all that together, that's when I created the act of God joke. But that was one time where I took like an old rotting note and managed to sit down and create something. Otherwise, I have pathetic. No, you guys have, like, I have a file in my phone called "Do Not Do These Jokes," and because the premises are so bad. Like, you know, the ones you go back to and you're like, in what mindset was I in where this was possibly funny?
Oh my God, there's so much stuff that I look in my notes, because I'd write all my jokes in notes in my phone, and I'll go back and look, and I'd be like, I would get canceled for this. Like, on what planet? Did I think this was okay?
I say a lot of terrible things, but I don't think I've ever. I don't know. I mean, my what's offensive barometer is non-existent most of the time, as long as it's within the realm of comedy, and love. But I don't know that I've written something that made me feel like, oh my gosh, if anyone ever hears this, other than the text messages between comedians, which we would all get canceled for. I don't. Definitely don't share what I say to comedians in text messages. We'd all get canned for sure, because you know, we all get it on that side. You know, we can say whatever we want to each other because there's no hate at all. So it's more fun. It's more fun inside the comedy mind, my friends. Join us.
Right. Yeah, do stand up. It's so easy.
You're right.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you guys?
Easy? Yeah.
It is interesting. I guess we're seeing, we didn't know what was going to happen during the pandemic, as far as like, would some people that had been trying for a long time and couldn't quite crack it, would they quit? And then would some of the old heads return, or was this a good time to hang it up? What are you guys seeing? What do you guys think you're seeing?
I haven't seen anybody hang it up. Not nearly as many as I feel should have.
I mean, I don't think I've seen that. I know some people have like, picked up other careers that are making it more difficult for them to take gigs because now they're making money, which they've never done before. So it's harder to book some funny people. I tried to book Andrew Cook, for example. If we're
I was gonna say, I think, are you talking about Cook? Yeah, Cook's making money.
In this particular case, I'm talking about Cook, hilarious guy, but he found he's got a successful career going on in the sales industry, so he's got to prioritize right now, and maybe that's the case with a lot of other people that we're not seeing work at the level that we think they should, because they're like, oh my gosh, I can pad this out for a little while and then get back to comedy eventually. But
see, that's the opposite. Well, I'll let you finish, but I have a theory that's on that very thing. But keep going.
Do the theory. Do the theory.
So, because my theory is, because of the pandemic and we've all been sitting at home, there haven't been enough people to quit yet. But now that comedy is coming back, I think we're going to see the biggest drop off from now to the end of 2022. Because people are going to go to a show and do it and come to terms with the fact that they want to quit.
Dude,
that's my theory. There's a lot of people whose hearts are not in it. And I'm like, and this is hard.
If their hearts aren't in it, why are they even here? I mean, there are people that have been in this game for 15 years who should find better things to do. I guess they just love it that much. And that's nice. I don't know. Oh, gosh, look, I don't mean to sound a certain kind of way, but like, I don't leave the house for X amount of money. And as much as I love this game, I just could not volunteer the time to continuously get my heart broken and not rise up to the level of my dream. But I know some people just want to be on the stage regardless, and they just accept, like, I am never going to be one of those top tier people, and God love them. I don't have it in me. I get upset, for a number of reasons at my little diva level, where, I look at the list, I'm like, hook them out, that person's following me. Nah, fuck that. Like, I get all butthurt about that. And then I think, not only fuck that, but like, am I slipping? Have I lost it? Like, what's going on here? And then also, I'm 44 years old. I'm at least twice as old as some of the people that I'm on the lineup with. And that gets in my head sometimes, where I need to get in here and hammer this shit just so they don't think, oh man, Rahmein is washed up.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm putting it to the metal, like, no bitches, I'm still here. I'm proving it to myself, which, who knows? That's probably stupid. I think that I've established enough that I can make funny things happen, and that in my case, hopefully age is not too much, but I also know that, if I write too many jokes about my kids or about my divorce or whatever, then I'm looking like that kind of comedian. So I do consciously leave out, bringing a whole bunch of, not dad jokes, but jokes from a dad's perspective. Because when I'm in a basement in DC, if I keep breaking out my kid the other day, he said, they're all going to be like, I have to consciously not do that and keep it observations that relate to the general public and not just parents. Because while I'm doing shows out in Lorton, Manassas, and Fredericksburg, and everyone's a mom and a dad, great, right? But I'm not always doing that, so I got to be conscious of
that's one challenge I've loved with having kids and doing that kind of material, is bringing in people that don't have kids, like how to work like the pregnancy jokes and the baby jokes in ways to bring in people that don't have kids. And I like that challenge in writing, because I think about like what I would have wanted to hear 2 years ago. At a comedy show.
Yeah, but like I love what you just said. You're right. Like discovering those transitions. Like, if you walk up there and go, I'm a dad, you all get it, then they're all like, what? But if you can bridge it by saying, someday you'll be a dad and you'll see that blah 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 blah. Now we are changing their mindset from I relate right now to, oh, he's talking about my potential future, and I think that does help bring in people that don't directly relate.
Or creating a perspective. Like the big thing that I've tried to do with mom jokes is like created this different perspective where it's kind of like I kind of do like a slutty mom thing, which is just funny to anybody.
Sure.
Just a hoey mom on Instagram is funny to everyone.
You make money. That lady's killing it.
Yeah. I got the OnlyFans out there. In fact, I did my first show last night with an OnlyFans comedian. That I'd never known that I've worked with an OnlyFans comedian before, but this one last night, it was part of her intro.
Really?
Top 2% on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There she was. Her name's Megan Graves.
Yep.
Does she do comedy, or is it like how does it work?
Comedy. Yeah, no, I fully
comedy?
expected her to stand at the microphone and ask guys to put dollars in a jar for her to take her shirt off, but she did not. She she told jokes and fit right in. It was just, I'd never I know, I'm not trying to sound like I don't watch porn. I do, and that I don't jerk off. Thanks
for admitting that.
Right now, yeah, I'm not wearing pants right now. I'm just trying to say I'm not innocent. I didn't fully
Jeffrey
know what
Tubin on Countercurrents.
Yeah,
that's it. I'd never known really what it was. Last night when she said it, I was like, I like the dumbass. She said she was on OnlyFans, and I said, oh, what do you do on there? She goes, what everyone does on there. And I was like, is it? And then I was like, I remember hearing comics do jokes about OnlyFans. So the context clues led me to, and then I was like, oh, okay. So like sexual stuff. Okay. And she was very open about it, very chill. And told some funny jokes in reference to it. That was, dude, that's her only job. Like, she's
absolutely.
You can make serious money on OnlyFans. It's insane. I have a friend in LA who is a manager of OnlyFans girls, and I actually had a big talk with him because I was like, how does the platform work? Like, what is it? These girls are crushing it. And the thing with OnlyFans is that they didn't originally plan to be a sex thing. It's kind of sad that what happened to it, because for a comedian, it's amazing. Like, it's basically a way to get paid for any content you want to put out. Oh. And you take out all the middlemen, and people pay directly to see whatever you're putting on. So you can have, it's kind of like Patreon for podcasts.
Yeah.
Is my understanding, where like you can make whatever you want and people pay $5, $10, whatever, for whatever content that you're doing. So it's a way to do visual content and like make money from it. And I think it's so sad that it became a sex thing, because it's like, what a great venue for like comedy sketches.
People do all kinds of different things on there. I guess just the main reason is the TNA.
Yeah, variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting. And I was glad she wasn't all like, quiet about it or anything. It was, like I said, it was part of her intro. So it was interesting.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, she wasn't doing that before she started, before she started comedy. She was a comic, and out of nowhere, and like for a good year and a half, and then I started seeing these things on her IG story for Holly Foxtrot. That's her screen.
That's her porn name.
Hold on, let me write that down.
And I was
I felt so weird. Like, I was curious. I didn't want to be like, so what is your name on there? Huh?
I was like, all right, bet, and I didn't utilize it. I was like semi-curious, but then I did see that thing you referenced the other day about top 2%, and I was like, I got to know what a $5 shake tastes like. I think I might be making a deposit.
Did you?
No.
Did you? You did. You totally did. That's why you know so much. Petey, it's okay.
I would too.
I
wouldn't do it.
I gotta find $5 first, but
if she's in top 2%, she's got to be making what, like $500,000?
I don't think it's that.
Is it that big?
No, I don't think
the top girls make millions of dollars. Millions.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the math is. I just, I wish I had nicer looking tits. I would do it too. I'm definitely jealous. And look, she's funny. She's not hard to look at. So like, capitalize.
Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Anyway, how do we transition from that, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those cubbies, what do you say?
Yeah. Right.
Well, let's talk about who else in the comedy world could have an OnlyFans page and do well.
Oh my God. I can't. I'm not gonna comment on that.
Yeah.
This is like, let's not go to the objectifying.
I would say
I'd pay for Eddie Morrison. How about that?
Maybe if he got a haircut. I don't know.
I would say of the
Shout out
female
Eddie
comics
Morrison.
I know.
Oh my God.
About
Petey, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. I thought you were gonna name names. I was like, Petey, don't.
Only 2%.
No.
That's high.
I would say about as many.
I guess dudes have low.
Comics would be good for OnlyFans is the same percentage that know how to fight. About 2%.
So that's okay. All right. I was like, only good-looking ones know how to fight. Okay.
Yeah, couple. That's probably fair.
I get it. It's a double insult. Lots of pussies and lots of ugly people. Is that what's going on? Anyway, we do need to make a hard left here before we get ourselves in trouble. But
a hard left. Wait, I know I've got a hard left for you. Let's talk about the South Block.
Hard left. Actually, that's my name on OnlyFans. Hard left.
Yeah, hard left.
Check me out at hard left on OnlyFans. Yeah. Ever seen them where they bend? Anyway.
Unfortunately, yes.
You want to talk about
anyway
now? Oh Lordy.
I love it so much. It's so delicious.
I've never crossed those worlds.
You haven't?
I mention it on Instagram and stuff like that, but I never want this mouth to represent anything to do with that company because it's a completely different world. And a lot of times I wish I'd changed my name at the beginning of my comedy life for a multitude of reasons, but one of them is that I don't, they just don't, one does not represent the other.
Right. I get that. That's it's hard to mesh those two. It's kind of how I feel about my soap opera career and comedy.
Right.
Is that in entertainment, it's been, talk about a hard left, and I have this like established career as a melodramatic actress in Spanish, but trying to mix that into, like, I have a lot of TV credits, a lot. Yeah. But you can't use those in comedy. And in the beginning of my comedy career, I tried so hard to like, I tried to do more jokes about it, to like mesh that part of my career. And it's been a learning lesson that cannot happen because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's just it's literally it's probably like the two most opposite sides of the entertainment industry. I don't know any other telenovela actor who has transitioned to doing comedy in English. I do know telenovela actors who do stand-up in Spanish.
Oh.
Shout out to a guy I know who just translated all of Bill Cosby's material and did it in Spanish and has a very successful show. Shout out.
Whoa. Yeah. That's crazy. Look at Pete. Yeah. He's very curious what's going on there.
Yeah.
A lot of controversy.
Did he do that as some kind of like a PSA or what?
No, he did this like, and by the way, no one in Mexico knows, but I was interested in stand-up a long time ago. And a guy, I can't believe nobody in Mexico has figured this out. But a guy I know, an actor I know in Mexico City, he'll never hear this. So anybody who would hear this in Mexico City would know who this is. But an actor I know in Mexico City is a telenovela actor and a stand-up comic. And by stand-up comic, it's like a one-man stand-up show that he does that tours, and it's all the same material, and it's been super successful in Mexico. And I went to go see it. His openers were like fantastic stand-ups in Spanish. And then he did an hour, and he told me that he loved Bill Cosby, and he did an hour, and I was like, this is Bill Cosby jokes translated to Spanish.
Wait, you're saying he doesn't credit Bill Cosby?
No, like he's stealing jokes and doing Bill Cosby material as part of his show in Spanish, and nobody.
No, I'll be represented by my hand. No comment, you guys. Holy crap!
Isn't that nuts?
No, crazy, awful.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah, and this is back before Bill Cosby got canceled, but I'm pretty sure that show is still going on. And nobody in Latin America has figured that out.
Well, I guess if anyone deserves to get their jokes stolen from him.
Right, stolen and made into Spanish.
That fucking guy. Yeah, but weird.
Isn't that weird?
That's so strange.
But his openers were great.
Well, that's great. Who they
were? No, theirs was real. It was theirs was their own. Not all Latin comics are Carlos Mencia.
Everybody.
Rahmein. Yeah.
Steven Derecho. Oh, he's really good. Yeah, that was
his
best joke. That was the best I had. Steven Derecho. That's all I got.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Does he do the Spanish fly bit that Cosby used to do?
I don't know that joke.
Isn't that Robin Williams?
No, it's about Cosby saying, you got to put this in your woman's drink. It was like a foreshadowing. No. Yeah, it's a bit. You can check it out on YouTube. And it was like, holy cow, now he's the roofie rapist,
Wow.
Netflix and pill. I mean, it had that one, and there was a episode of the Cosby Show where he talked about it's all in my barbecue sauce, and he straight up had all the women in the arms of their respective Cosby man, the guy that worked at Trader Joe's, and then like Theo and whoever, and then he grabs Felicia Rashad and is like, how about you come up and try my sauce or whatever. I'm going to send you these clips later. It's mad wild.
Yeah, nope. That is weird.
Yeah.
So this guy, I wonder if he does those bits.
Oh, yeah.
In Mexico.
No, it's like really, it's like really famous. It's like very famous Cosby bits that he was doing. Like if you've seen just very famous, like clean,
like the dentist stuff.
Yeah. Just like very famous bits that we all know. That I was like, I'm like watching the show and I'm like, nobody figured this out.
Well, cash those checks.
Hey,
overseas.
Hey, and like you said, if anybody deserves it, that's the guy.
There it is.
Oh, show. Anyway,
yeah.
So we can talk a little Southie block if you want.
I just want to tell you that it's delicious, and I love it.
Well, we are trying. My brother is the CEO and founder and the real mastermind behind everything. I joined the company about 3.5 years ago when he started to get so big. He needed a bit more corporate support, so he plucked me from another career that I loved as well, and joined him. I really like working with my brother. He's a great guy. He's a visionary. And the company has come to represent a lot more than just smoothies and acai bowls and juice, man. He's done a great job of branding it. And we come from a really amazing family, a multicultural background, and open-minded progressives, and all that is woven into the South Block brand at this point, where, we're not an advocacy group or anything. And, our main focus is making sure that our product is good and our guests are treated fairly.
Right.
But, my brother's done a good job of also pushing out just the core values of what we stand for as humans, as fathers, as family people, and as I know people don't necessarily like the phrase liberal progressives, but it's pretty obvious on the South Block Instagram page where we stand and what we stand up for. So it's nice to be a part of something like that where we can we push a lot of the monies forward, depending on what month it is. Every month has kind of its own flavor, and then we'll donate a chunk to that, or the Wounded Warriors over here, or XYZ. This month being Pride, and we got Juneteenth in the mix, so we're trying to ramp it up when we can, and give and hope that it helps. It's been really cool. We have this nonprofit foundation called Fruitful Planet, where we take 5% of the juice sales and buy up fresh produce, and deliver it to food shelters in the area, local stuff, food shelters, schools, homeless shelters,
That's awesome.
Food insecure families. And it's crazy. You take a bag of apples, sometimes we'll literally physically take them to these schools. These kids love it. And I couldn't believe, I was astonished in all of my privilege and blindedness. Some of these kids had never seen an apple before, a real freaking apple.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Sad.
So, that's just my privilege blinding me. And so, it'll
who's never seen an apple? No, I got to hear this.
Just some kids that were had never seen it. They would get they might have the pre-packaged, pre-sliced Mott's seal, that kind of thing, but
a full-on apple.
fill on fresh. I'm not saying it was like the whole bunch of them, but there was one kid that was like, I've never seen an actual apple before. And I was like, damn.
Like if you told me someone underprivileged had never seen like a starfish or something, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But like,
yeah,
I was 25 before I saw one of those at like a wedding I got dragged to. But you know, like,
yeah, no, you're right. That's why I'm mentioning it, is because I was like, holy shit. And maybe it was just this one thing, but it, I don't want to say it was touching. It wasn't touching. It was frightening.
Yeah.
Well, all that stuff with the food industry is frightening. I mean, it's so expensive to just eat like real fruits and vegetables. It's actually like,
we recognize that our products are not affordable for absolutely everybody. So we try to do something to give it back. I mean, we do what little bit we can. Poverty is, I think, the number one cause for lack of ability to retain information. And so it'll make people seem dumb, but they just, they're malnourished.
Yeah.
So, Umar, who we all know is highly educated in this area, and he's the one that told me that. So he could be completely wrong. He's not that bright, but he did tell me that. He said it to me in a serious way, to where I was like, I'll believe this, Packy. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I thought I hear this term food desert bandied around all the time on NPR and nutrition class that I took a while back. And it's like, you grow up in these areas where there's not a grocery store or source of like good produce or any of that for like at least a mile and a half. And I'm like, shit. I mean, I just have meat lockers. I've been growing up in food tundras my whole life. Like, I don't know anything about a food desert or whatever, but yeah, it definitely contributes. Like, you got to get on the bus, you don't have a car, go down to the Giant, you're carrying all these fucking bags, or else stay in your neighborhood, go to the bodega and get like the ham that has like the gross ass built-in olives. Have you seen those fucking 99-cent ham joints?
Yes. Disgusting. Yeah.
So anyways, not to get too sad about it, but so we do our little bitty bit, and that stuff feels really good. So yeah, I'm very proud to be part of that company. I do, like I said, I do try to keep it separate from anything that I say as a stand-up comedian, because as I said, one does not represent the other. I'm not a comic that like, I'm not on like, when you guys probably like when we hang after shows, I'm not a clown. I hate those kind of comedians who can't shut the fuck up after a show and they think they're still on. I hate it.
They just want to riff all night. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'm what I'm trying to say is I'm way more kind of like mean and aggressive and offensive on stage than I am off stage. Off stage, I think I'm just a nice fella, and I try to be nice to people. So that's what I mean. Like, the comedy is its own thing, and then South Block is it's a whole separate situation.
Yeah, well, sorry I brought it up. That green bowl with extra granola is the shit. Let me tell you, I love it. I love it.
And we appreciate it. We have some great team members, some great leadership, and it's only growing. We got 11 now, and we're hoping to open 9 more in the next 3 years. So.
I mean, I don't.
Do you guys deliver or anything, or do it through Blue Apron or anything like that? Yeah.
Well, good question. I mean, everybody has the old Uber Eats, right? But yeah, we have a national campaign now that's called Bowl Kits. Bowlkits.com, or you can see it on southblock.com. And basically what we've got is frozen acai bases of a few different varieties. Our Warrior Bowl, PBJ Bowl, Mermaid Bowl, Golden Bowl. Those are pre-mixed, frozen, and we put them in like just a pint container, like a Ben and Jerry's size. We got a little packet of granola in there and chia seeds and cacao nibs, depending on what the flavor is. And we sell them. They're $10 a pop. So like the box is $80, and I think it's $10 flat shipping anywhere in the nation. If there's a drawback to it, it's that we can't ship fresh fruits like that. So people buy just the frozen kit to wherever in the country, and they thaw it and they top it themselves. So I've had a couple of comedians help out and do like little story promos for me, and I just sort of to join the worlds. Maz Jabrani did one, and that's pretty cool. He's always been a really nice guy. Andrea Lopez, who you guys might know from the Sarah Fraser show, she did one. So that's kind of cool when I can mix the worlds like that, because the great thing about working there too is like we only feel really good about what we're serving people. It's not like,
right.
At no point am I handing somebody, you know, a fried Snickers bar or something where I'm like, ugh, don't eat too many of these. You know, it's all just really great stuff, and there's no secrets behind it.
So good. So it's so good. I love it. It's so delicious.
Oh,
it's so delicious. I've gotten to the point where like I crave it. I get one almost every Saturday. I have like the green bowl.
Awesome.
With extra granola for breakfast. It's so delicious. Shout out to South Block.
You look your best on Saturday nights, I was going to say.
Thanks.
Or the glow,
right. Mm-hmm. Right. It's those cacao nibs that
yeah, it's guilt-free eating, like unless you're somebody that gets, you know, like extra Nutella, but you know, every once in a while you got to get a little Nutella. So it's
right. Oh, it's so good.
Love Nutella.
It's so good.
I know. You know,
yeah, I know you
like we've all been through like low times in our lives, you know, and over the I think I got there at one point during the pandemic. It was mostly alcohol for me during the pandemic. But when I'm at my worst, like dietarily, is that a word?
Yeah.
I used to do just spoonfuls of Nutella. That's when I knew that I was like done. Like normally I'm a pretty health conscious eater. My family, we were raised on like, you know, as Middle Easterners, we always have like nuts and berries and fruits all over the place and all that. And so I'm pretty good on my diet. But when I'm really going off, I love just like, not the small spoon, the tablespoon. Get in there, heaping tablespoon. And then I just like to sit it in my mouth and just let it make its way down the throat. So good.
Nutella is delicious. Like no one can argue with that. At least you had Nutella lying around. I think like my lowest food point was I was craving sweets so bad and it wasn't available to me in the moment. I had some jam in the fridge and it was like jam, spoon, go like ice cream.
But that's
horrible
like
for you.
That's the most guiltt-free low point. That's like being like,
no way.
I ate a whole head of iceberg lettuce. It was awful. I ate a whole red pepper. I'm such a bad girl. It's not that bad.
Jam is so bad. It's literally just sugar.
Buddy,
like there's some
put jam and Nutella head to head. There's no way that Nutella is as bad as jelly. Is there?
I think if you bring like Smucker's jelly versus Nutella, I'm actually going to Google this now.
Google it.
I actually think it's pretty comparable.
I love it. It's not like I don't love the jams and jellies. I just think like, and because Nutella is like, not only is it something about it like kicks off these endorphins in my whole head.
Yo, you know what I think?
Therapy. So
I swear to God, I think there's weed in Nutella.
It's so delicious. It's so delicious.
I'm not kidding. One night I was pet sitting at this place and this kid was staying over and I come in the house and it smells like dope. And I'm like, what's going on? You kid smoking up. And he's like, no, we just heated up some Nutella. And I thought, that smells very much like kind bud weed. And then it occurred to me that there's a neuromodulator in chocolate, the same one that's in marijuana that gives you that exquisite doorknob feeling, like where you can just stare at a Frisbee and you're like, oh, look how fucking round it is. You know, that's in weed and in chocolate. I swear, I think that's what you're talking about.
That could be. I love it. It does change my mood.
Rahmein, you are right. Nutella is way worse than jam. Way worse. Yeah, I was totally wrong.
You've been doing so good. You didn't even know it.
Yeah. Well, again, 20 grams of sugar per serving of Nutella, and there's 12 in a serving of jam. So I think
12 grams to 20 grams.
Yeah, okay. Of sugar per serving.
What's the serving? Like I said, I'll put a damn spatula in the Nutella and just.
But that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. What's the serving? Because if you're eating a spoon to jam, like straight, like I ate like the whole jam, like an ice cream, right? That's a lot. Versus like no one can physically eat that much Nutella. Shout out to the person who emails after this saying they ate a whole thing of Nutella by themselves.
Yeah.
But like, it's 2 tablespoons is 1 serving of Nutella. And by the way,
okay.
By the way, it's 200 calories. It's 100 calories per tablespoon of Nutella. per tablespoon. And that's like this much, by the way.
Yeah,
this much.
Killing it. I was killing
yeah.
it. Yeah. That was my worst. I only recently decided that I needed to stop being so and you know, because like I'm not very good at self-motivating in my house. You know,
right.
Like, some people are like, yeah, just give me 2 tomato cans and I'm ready to go. Like, I'm not that way. I'm an environment person. I can be in the gym, in the yoga studio. Here's the start time. Here's the end time. Someone, you know, I'm not good. I don't like, I'm not a super macho guy. I don't like going to like CrossFit and having everybody be like, let's go. I don't like that. But I do like a definitive time that I have to be somewhere. And then it'll be over. So I can get to the gym and like lift a few weights, like, you know, mildly. Again, I'm not like super aggressive, but that's why I really like the yoga classes, because it's like, be there at 10, it'll be over by 11, and this person's going to tell you everything to do while you're there. I can do better with that. But, you know, I fluctuated. You know, I should weigh, like, if I'm at my, not best, but if I'm doing pretty darn good, I'm 6 feet tall. I should be like 193, 190, 195, somewhere in there, depending on whatever the muscle build is. I was like, I got up to about 220, 222 at one point. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I started setting my hands on top of my stomach. Like I was one of these guys. And I was like, whoa, that is too much, buddy. Yeah. Like, I needed to tighten up. So I just recently got back on the train, maybe a month ago. And you know, being 44, it's like, I got to work 17 times as hard. And most of the time I'm just praying that I don't get injured while I work out. Cause as soon as you get injured, you're out for another 4 weeks, just trying to get better from that, eating Nutella in your kitchen at 2 a.m.
Yeah. I'm usually like that too, where I need to like show up to stuff to get motivated. But I had a baby right before the pandemic. So all I had to do was look in the mirror, and I got motivated.
You snapped back. Like, you're being humble.
You think I snapped back because you didn't see me for a year.
Yeah. Well,
I did not. I thought I would snap back because I'm usually like a pretty healthy eater, but I'm in my 30s and it shook. It took a lot of work. I was like, oh, I'm going to be like a supermodel. I'll lose it in like 4 months. It's like, no, it took me.
What kind of work works for you? What works for you? Are you?
I had to do a lot. I mean, I hate running, but I do it a lot because it's the best exercise, and like that's just how you look good. If you run, like, you're gonna lose weight and you're gonna look good. It's just that simple. Now I do a lot of Orange Theory because it's a lot of running, and it's very like you said, like short time span, so you kind of can forget it. And I do Orange Theory 4 times a week, and then I do like a Pilates class. I do a Pilates class once a week, but I never used to be like that. But in order to lose the weight, I kept having to turn it up and turn it up and turn it up and turn it up, because like, as you age, I mean, as you age, your body just doesn't respond the same. And running, but there's nothing like running. Like, running makes everything look like you're in the gym all the time.
Like,
it hurts.
Be careful with that.
You got to get the right shoes. It's all about the right shoes.
I'm not sure. I'm at 44 says it doesn't matter what fucking shoes I wear.
You got to try the right. I used to get like a lot of knee pain.
What are you talking about? It's way different.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Yeah, I'm 31.
I've never been a runner, and I'm not very good at it. And I know I already mentioned my buddy Umar, but that dude will send me splits where he runs like 8 miles, where he's like, averages 7.5 minutes per mile. But he's been running his whole life. And so, and I know some people are further broken down from that. But he just goes, man. It's impressive. If I can do 1 to 2 miles, 10.5 minute pace, I feel like the champion of the world. That's my best. I really like my yoga classes.
Yoga's amazing too. Yeah. I used to do a lot of yoga, but it just wasn't. I just had a lot of weight to lose, and yoga was not enough.
Thought, like, when I first started yoga, I thought it was all like candlelit and everybody's all namaste.
No.
Dude, there's this woman at Core Power Yoga, and I know that's not like a sponsor of your show or anything. Her name is Ann. Beast, I feel like I'm in boot camp. Like, this woman is serious. I don't know how old she is. She's got a couple kids, and she looks great, like a Cirque du Soleil fit, and will put you through the gamut, boy. She is tough. Abs, biceps. Like, whew, I'm just in there just trying to survive through the whole class.
Yoga can be tough. Yoga can be really tough.
Beast. See Ann at Core Power, guys. She will get you straight. She is something special. Yeah.
Well, guys, on that note, shout out to Ann at Core Power Yoga. We got to end this because I got to show in a little bit. But we want to thank Rahmein for doing this with us today.
My pleasure. Had a great time. This is just us hanging out, but we recorded it. So that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's the cool thing about podcasting.
Real quick, where you go? Where's your show? Are you allowed to plug it?
Yeah, it will. By the time this is released, this will be in the past.
Oh yeah,
but
it's relevant. So let's do that.
Yeah, it's at Town Tavern. They're doing a show every Thursday again now.
Nice.
I think they're selling tickets now because it said that it sold out, I guess, last week. But it's via Capital Ass if you guys want to check that out. And then by the time this comes out, I'm going to be doing the Crybaby show on Sunday. I believe it's the 19th or the 20th, but the Sunday of this week, I'll be on Crybaby. So check them out on Instagram, Facebook. They're a great DC show. Their locations change around. So look up. Yeah. Who has done this podcast also.
Yeah. And he's
amazing
so nice
guy.
And he really kind of like became a thing during the pandemic and
absolutely.
And what I admire about guys that find that sort of quick success, he's become kind of a hot producer quickly, as he's so humble and nice and understanding, and retaining that I think is very, very difficult for some people because it can go to your head real quick. And he's funny, so.
Yeah. He also he said he had a goal that I just noticed on our podcast. He told us his goal is to be one of those people that makes you feel good after you talk to them, and I feel like he's done a really good job at maintaining that, which as a producer I feel like is really hard.
Yeah, his hand jobs are primo.
Yeah. Give me more time, Mike.
Nice, good guy. There's some really good things happening in DC, and you guys are a part of it, bringing it all back. So thank you for that part of the hustle and maintaining, the pod and trying to get the Draft House cranked up again. It's been fun to see the resurgence, and hopefully we continue to get hotter and hotter and come back bigger, better, stronger. And
And on that note, July 7th at the Arlington Cinema Draft House, 7 p.m. Wednesday is the next Countercurrents showcase, of course, hosted by yours truly and Elena. And
we do it on stage together. That's that's the kind of hosting that this is. Two hosts.
Whoa.
Tennis doubles, fuckers.
Yeah.
And I don't know who we're gonna put on it yet. It's a mystery.
Yeah, we haven't decided. So
who would you guys like to see? You can email us. You can like us.
Oh,
DM
us,
whatever.
DM us on Instagram. DM Countercurrents DC on Instagram if you want to see any of the guests that we've had on that are local, which we mentioned at the beginning. We've had a lot of headliners too, but I don't think we're at the budget where we can bring them. But
that's a tough balance right now.
Yeah. But anybody local that you guys like, please email us. And we will put them on.
Yeah, don't nominate yourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very good. All right, well, good luck with it, guys. And thanks for having me on. Tell everybody to follow me on Instagram. Rahmein,
which is what?
Rahmein88, my weird looking name there, and then 88.
Rahmein 88.
That's it. I'm out there. I'll be somewhere.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. Thank you all. Peace.
Bye.
All right.